Have you read the ancient myths, especially the ones attributed to the Sumerians? It's a fascinating read, by the way, and the very fact that the stories in them were written in antiquity is simply mind-blowing. Today, we would call such stories fiction, but for people of the past, it was a sacred truth. Vimana flights, interplanetary travel, longevity, and man-made disasters. This and much more is described in ancient texts, but this information is popularized, and there is something that is known to few people. The gods, owning all these advantages, had blue skin color. When it comes to blue-skinned deities, most people think of Indian epics. However, it was not only in Indian texts. Blue blood is what people used to call a person of aristocratic descent, or when talking about mollusks, but it's never been blue in humans because it requires hemocyanin instead of hemoglobin. But there was a strange incident with a Mexican woman in 2016. The girl claimed she wasn't feeling well. Doctors took tests and were quite surprised. Hemoglobin was partially replaced by hemocyanin. The cause of this could not be determined, as the girl died 2 days later. But as for the ancient gods, they lived for a very long period of time, and it seems that researchers have come closer to figuring out the color of their skin. They hypothesized that a long time ago, there was another planet in our solar system, Phaethon. It was inhabited just like Earth, but with the key difference: life there developed on a silicon base. Because of this, its inhabitants' gods did not need oxygen to breathe. At some point, this planet was destroyed, with even Mars suffering from its destruction, but fortunately, its inhabitants were already advanced enough for interplanetary travel. When they arrived on Earth, it took them a long time to get used to their new home. On top of that, Earth was already inhabited by us. They taught us how to live a sedentary life, and gave us some technology. Eventually, that's how the first human civilization was born. But the gods could not solve their problems in the conditions of the Earth. They could not reproduce. So, to preserve their heritage, they decided to pass it on to primitive humans. But despite the fact that they tried to teach people for more than 1,000 years, when they were gone, man showed his true face by starting endless wars for power, dividing the world into territories and people into nations. But the proof that all people used to live in friendship can be seen all over the world. In the same architecture, the same buildings everywhere, the same technology used everywhere. I realize it's hard to believe such a fantastic hypothesis without evidence. Perhaps the myths did not convey the whole truth, but the findings that officials failed to hide suggest that much of the legends may be true. What do you think about this? Write in the comments. If you liked the video, then don't forget to put a like and subscribe to the channel. There will be a lot of interesting, shocking, and exciting things ahead.